Hey everybody, it's Hakeem here, back with episode 4 of Izzet Control. Playing against Covert Go Blue again this time, and our opening hand has 6 mana. It's pretty terrible, so we're going to mulligan that. Now we have 5 mana. Counterspell, but I really, as control, I don't want to go to 6. I've got 2 castable spells, so I'm actually going to keep this one. It's not great, I'm not too happy about this hand, but I think it's better than a random 6-card hand, so that's kind of why I'm keeping it. I'll have the Nullify open on the second turn. Covert has started with a Selesnya Guildgate, which is not the greatest thing for me, because it probably means he's playing some type of aggro strategy. So we'll see what he's got up his sleeve. We got the turn 2 Nullify, though, so if he comes here with a Selesnya Evangel or a Satyr Wayfinder, well, I'm just going to Nullify another Wayfinder, because me and him, we got that sort of bond here where he tells me that I should nullify Wayfinders. And so I do it 2 episodes in a row. And pick up another mountain, so we're on the mana train. That's what happens when you keep a 5 lander. It's very easy to just flood out very quickly. Because, he's cultivating, so we don't need to worry about that. Yeah, when you keep a 5 lander, it's very easy to flood out, because just drawing 1 land is pretty terrible, and it's pretty easy to do. So we picked up a Dissolve, which is fantastic, super sweet. We have a heart counter on this turn and on the next. Plus we have a bounce spell. So not in the worst shape in the world now all of a sudden, because we have the Scry on Dissolve as well for a little bit of card selection. So Covert's gone all the way to 5. He's tapping out for Arbor Colossus. We're not going to let him have that. A 6/6 with Reach is a little bit strong. We're going to bottom the land. And we have a Charmbreaker Devils. Against green-white, I may just jam that on the 6th turn, depending on how this goes. If I spend my counterspell on this turn, I'd probably just jam the Charmbreaker Devils, but we'll see. We'll see what Covert does before we get locked into a mindset of what we're going to do. He plays a Wayfinder. Obviously, I'm not going to spend 5 mana to counter this one. So, the flip here will give us a little bit of insight into what he's doing. He's flipped 2 Pack Leaders and a Masked Admirers. Now he's casting a Seance, so I really don't want that to land. Seance is going to let him grab creatures out of his graveyard. So we're going to counter that. And now, I think, honestly, I just jam the Charmbreaker Devils against white-green. I don't know if that's right, I don't know if that's wrong. But I'm just going balls. So if I untap with that thing, I'm going to be in some good shape, and I've got a bounce spell for anything that he sneaks past my counterspell. So he's cast a Visionary, which is just the 1/1 that draws him a card, but he got to spend 2 green mana and get his Masked Admirers back into his hand. And he's going to arrest my Charmbreaker Devil, so he can't attack or block now. But arrest stops. Oh no. Pointless to do this, because Xbox is going to take it away once the damage. Yeah, so I'll just wait till my turn. I really need to learn just to wait until my turn to do these things. So arrest means you can't activate creature abilities, but Charmbreaker Devils doesn't have an activated ability. It has a triggered ability, so I still get the card from my graveyard back to my hand every single turn, which is pretty awesome. So now I've got a Dissolve and an Inspiration, an Archaeomancer that I'll use later. And I could even Voyage's End my Charmbreaker Devils when the time comes. But for now, I'm just going to sit on my 6 mana with my bounce spell, my counter spell, and my draw 2. So he's going to swing for 2 here because I cannot block. So we're just going to take that and go to 17. He's on 7 mana. He's playing some type of Seance deck, so I really have no idea what to expect. He's really throwing a few curveballs. So this is, again, this is a spell here that, if you look at it, so it enters the battlefield, he draws a card. When he casts a creature spell, he can drag it back. So against a control deck, this is a really strong card, because if I counter it, it goes into his graveyard, and then he can just cast a creature spell and drag it back. If I don't counter it, which I didn't, then he gets to hit me for 3 every single turn and draw a card. So, I mean, it's pretty annoying for me to face, honestly. It's kind of like a Bloodghast in that respect. So we picked up a Shock and a Voyage's End and another Charmbreaker Devils. Do I shock anything? I don't know what to do here. Really Analyze. I want to keep the Voyage's End in my hand, but the shock is not feeling the greatest, so I think perhaps I just shock that right now. Because I don't think I'm going to get a whole lot of value out of that shock down the road, so I'm just going to keep that off the board. He's got 4 cards in his hand. We're going to get a card back. Could be the shock. We might have got a free one. Hit a nullify. I've got an inspiration. Still can't block, though. Still can't block, but an inspiration and a bounce spell hard counter. I'm not going to jam out the second charm breaker just yet. Going to keep open all my counter magic and my draw spells. So 8 mana is a lot. He's just going to again swing for 2 here before he does anything. Wonder he's probably, if he's playing Seance in green white, I would imagine there's a Craterhoof Behemoth, and that's probably why he's playing the Wayfinders, is to get that Craterhoof. So anyway, he plays a Visionary, draws a card, pays the 2 green. Gets Admirers back into his hand, and he's going to be able to recast Admirers here now and go up to, or stay at 6 cards in hand. So yeah, just going to let all that resolve. I would love, absolutely adore an Anger of the Gods right now. So we're going to draw 2. Please give me Angers. No Anger. Still have our draw step for turn though to possibly pick one up. But it would be a very, very strong card right now, you know, to have. Got a shock here, got a full grip, 7 cards. I think I'm going to actually I'm gonna shock this thing again because I can't afford to take the damage. And I don't want to have to discard it, so we're just gonna throw it in the graveyard again, but you know, it's pretty annoying. I gotta say, it's an annoying fucking card to face as a control deck. I'm on 15 life. He's got 3 power on the board. So he's going to bring me to 12 here. I have to deal with this fairly soon. Still got the inspiration though, and Anger of the Gods is a pretty solid out that I have. And I imagine he's going to cast a creature, which is Nylea's Disciple. I'm going to nullify that because I pretty much have to keep him from casting any more creatures. But he still gets to pay the 2 green and get Admirers back into his hand. And if he has a land, he can play it on this turn and draw another card, which he will do. And I'm just going to Inspiration here, draw 2 more cards, and hopefully while he's tapped out, again, pick up that Anger of the Gods and just exile his whole board. Didn't get it. Hopefully we pick it up off the top. We're down into the 30s here in terms of cards left in the library. Charmbreaker is going to give us an additional card, but it's not going to be Anger because there isn't one to get in the graveyard. So still with 7 mana available. I mean, I got to keep open the counter spells. So I think what I'll do is just Voyage's End. I got to make sure I spend the mana correctly here. No, I got to tap a red. Yeah, just going to Voyage's End, the Masked Admirers. Keep that power off the board because 3 hits me for a lot. I think twice on top. I don't really need it. I kind of have a full grip, so I'm just going to bottom that. I really need the Anger of the Gods, or you know, or something. So he's on 10 mana now as a green-white deck beating me down with 1/1s. It's starting to get a little bit annoying. Here. So I'm probably going to have to cast the Archaeomancer next turn just as a blocker, honestly. Now he's playing Admirers, which I'm actually going to let resolve. And let's see if he's got another spell. I mean, he's drawing a lot of cards off those Admirers, and he just keeps getting them back, and I have to constantly deal with them. So I'm actually going to cycle a Visions for a land here because I've got 2 of them, and I'd like to be able to cast Kozilek at some point, you know, if I draw them. So let's do that and see what we get back here. Still no Anger of the Gods. Really want one, like so bad. Can you sense how badly I want an Anger of the Gods? So I'm definitely going to Archaeomancer here for inspiration. Because I absolutely and completely need a blocker against this horde. Got the bounce spells, the counter spells, and I've got 8 cards in my hand. Need to discard 1. Thinking Charmbreaker is honestly a safe discard. mean, I just cycled for a land, but I have to throw the land away. You know, I can't discard a Charmbreaker Devils over a land, so really don't want to see Crater Hoof. I mean, I know I can counter it. I've got 5 mana here. I've got the Archaeomancer to block the 1/1s now. Still got that annoying 3/2 here, so let's see how he declares his attack. He's coming with everything. I'm going to block the Satyr Wayfinder. And with 2 Voyage's Ends in hand, I'm going to bounce his Master Myers. I can't afford to take 3. He's going to wreak Anger of the Gods. Thank you very much. I'll take that on top all day long. I will take that all day long. So he's recasting the Admirers. Best thing about Anger of the Gods, it exiles all the creatures. So that means those Admirers will go away. And he's ending his turn. Do I want to do anything? Voyage's End, anything like that? I think I'm pretty good for now. I'm going to get the Charmbreaker trigger, get a card back out of the graveyard, and top deck that Anger of the Gods. So let's just cast that. Get rid of those Masked Admirers. He's still got 7 cards in his hand though, which is pretty strong. It's very strong actually, but I have 6 mana here now and 2 Inspirations in hand, 2 Dissolves, lots of stuff. Not going to tap out for Charmbreaker for the second one here. He's got 12 mana in play. I'm just going to draw 2. Just going to draw 2 here, and I wonder, I've got a negate. I think I'm going to Voyage's End my own Charmbreaker Devils. Let's bottom the land, we've got plenty of that. So yeah, we're going to untap. We'll play Charmbreaker with 4 mana open. So I've still got Dissolve up. And now this guy can actually attack. So we're on 7 life. Our opponent has a full grip of cards and a fuck ton of mana, so we'll see. He's cultivating, which is, I guess he's trying to strip lands out of his deck. He still has 7 cards, but I'm not worried about countering that. Now he's playing Annihilia's Disciple, which is just a 3/3. He's going to gain 2 life because gains life equal to your Devotion to Green, which is 2 for the only card he has on board. Not too scared of a 3/3 at this point. Now he's going to arrest that again. I think I negate it. He's got 3 mana. I don't think there's anything too scary over there that I can't deal with. And I'm going to draw a card. Okay, I think we're getting somewhere. With this. A lot of bounce spells in the graveyard. I think all 3 Voyage's Ends are in here. No, only 2 of them. It's always a good chance of picking one back up, though, off the Charmbreaker. And I will swing with it before I activate any spells. See if he blocks or not. If he does, I'll just leave it alone and kill it off. And keep all my mana open. He's got 6 cards in his hand and 15 mana. 16 mana, so he's flooding out a little bit here. I'm going to draw 2 cards here. I don't think I'm going to draw anymore. I'm going to save these Think Twices as offensive weapons. So I'm going to get a card back plus a draw for turn. We've got an absolutely insane amount of mana, so I'm going to Think Twice to buff the Charmbreakers. If he's playing Fog in his deck or Safe Passage, I'm going to laugh pretty hard. I'm going to Think Twice again. That'll draw a card. Now I'm going to swing for 12. And see what he does. Okay, I didn't really want to go all in on... I could have countered my own spells there. I could have flashbacked some Think Twices and all that sort of stuff. But I wasn't in the mood to go all in on it because I don't want to discard Kozilek because then my Charmbreaker goes offline. So I will just discard both copies of Visions here. I got lots of counter spells in hand that are much cheaper than that. So he's going to arrest the Charmbreaker Devils again, which of course I'm going to negate. Want them to be able to attack. Now with 14 mana, 4 cards in hand, still got 2 copies of Dissolve, so even if he has two relevant cards. Alright, so again, I'm still kind of worried about the Fogs, but we're getting a card back. He's going to play Reprisal. dissolve that. It's going to buff up the Charm Breaker. And we're going to see Nullify on top. It's not land, so at this point of the game we're going to take it. And now we're going to flash back a Think Twice. And this is enough to kill him, so we'll find out if he's playing Fog. The fact that he just threw a Reprisal at me kind of tells me that he's not, but we will see. So we're coming for 12. If I see Fog or Safe Passage, I'm going to be upset. Anything else we can deal with. So there we go. We managed to take down the green-white deck. I think Covert got a little bit mana flooded there. You know, he had 16 or 18 mana in the battlefield, so it's kind of like the last game we played. If you watched episode 3, I kind of flooded out, and I think now in this game the same happened to him. You know, I hope you enjoyed the game though. I certainly did, because I finally beat the fucker. He's a damn fine player, and every time I can beat him, I certainly enjoy it. So. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the game, and we'll see you for another episode tomorrow. Thanks for watching.